Julian Ward had seen success measured in stock prices, innovation awards, and magazine covers. But standing under the glow of paper lanterns at the autumn harvest fair, watching families laugh over apple cider and children chase each other through rows of pumpkins, he felt the familiar hollow ache that no amount of achievement could fill. He'd come alone, as always, drawn by some vague hope that stepping into warmth might help him remember what it felt like. That's when he saw her. She sat in her wheelchair near a tower of orange pumpkins, her small hands resting in her lap, her eyes studying the crowd with a quietness that felt almost sacred. She couldn't have been more than 9 or 10, with dark hair pulled into a simple ponytail and a worn coat that had seen too many seasons. But it wasn't her stillness that stopped him. It was the way she watched people, as if she were taking notes on joy itself, memorizing laughter she couldn't quite join. Julian found himself walking toward her before he understood why. "Hi there," he said gently, crouching down at her level. "Are you here with someone?" The girl looked up at him with eyes that seemed far older than her years. "My mom. She's working." She pointed toward a modest stand across the path where a woman with tired eyes and flour-dusted hands poured steaming cider into paper cups. The line was short, the banner hand-painted. "Marina's homemade cider." "What's your name?" Julian asked. "Lily." "That's a beautiful name." He glanced back at the stand, then at Lily. "Does your mom work here a lot?" Lily nodded. "Every weekend during fall. Sometimes after school, too. She makes the cider from scratch. People say it's the best, but not enough people know about it yet." She said it matter-of-factly, without bitterness, just honest observation. Julian felt something crack open in his chest. "Do you help her?" "I keep her company," Lily said simply, "and I remind her to smile at customers. She forgets sometimes because she's tired." They talked for a while longer. Lily told him about school, about the books she loved, about the way the fair smelled like cinnamon and wood smoke. She didn't mention her wheelchair once, and Julian didn't ask. What struck him most was her awareness, her gentle wisdom, the way she seemed to carry the weight of caring for someone else even though she was just a child. Before he could stop himself, the words came out. "Lily, what if you didn't have to worry about all that? What if you could come live with me? I have a big house, resources. I could make sure you had everything you needed. Therapy, school, opportunities." Lily's expression didn't change, but something flickered in her eyes. She shook her head slowly. "I can't leave my mom." "But wouldn't she want what's best for you?" "I am what's best for her," Lily said quietly. "She needs me, not because I do things for her, because I remind her why she keeps going." She paused, then looked up at him with a directness that made him feel seen in a way he hadn't been in years. "If you really want to help her. She's the one who gave up everything. She's the one who deserves someone who sees her." Julian sat back on his heels, stunned. This child, this wise, selfless child, had just turned his pity into a mirror. "What would help her?" he asked softly. Lily thought for a moment. "She used to draw. Before I was born. She told me once that she dreamed of making picture books. Stories where kids like me could be the heroes. But she hasn't drawn in years. She's too tired. Too scared it's too late." Julian looked over at Marina again. She was handing change to a customer, brushing a strand of hair from her face, offering a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. He saw the exhaustion, yes, but beneath it, he saw something else. Strength, dignity, a woman who had chosen love over ease every single day. He stood. "Thank you, Lily, for being honest with me. Are you going to talk to her?" Lily asked. "If she'll let me?" Lily smiled, then a real smile. "She will. Just don't treat her like she's broken. She's not." Julian approached the cider stand as the evening crowd thinned. Marina looked up, her expression wary but polite. "Can I get you something?" "Actually, I was hoping to talk to you," Julian said. "Your daughter and I just had a conversation, and she told me something I think you should hear." Marina's guard went up immediately. "What did she say?" "That you gave up your dreams to raise her. That you used to draw. That you wanted to make books." Julian kept his voice steady, respectful. "She also said you're tired, and that you deserve someone who sees you." Marina's hand stilled on the counter. For a moment, she looked like she might cry. Then she straightened. I don't need charity. I'm not offering charity, Julian said. I'm offering partnership. I run a tech company, but I've been looking for meaningful projects, stories that matter. If you're willing, I'd like to help you bring those books to life. Not because I feel sorry for you, because Lily's right. The world needs stories like the ones you wanted to tell. Marina studied him, searching for the catch. Why would you do that? Because I spent years building things that don't mean anything, Julian admitted, and your daughter just reminded me what does. Over the following months, something unexpected unfolded. Marina was hesitant at first, unsure if she even remembered how to draw, if the dream was still alive beneath years of survival. But Julian was patient. He hired a part-time assistant for the cider stand. He brought Marina sketchbooks and gave her space. And slowly, carefully, her hands remembered. The book came together in pieces. A story about a girl in a wheelchair who discovered she could communicate with autumn leaves, who became the bridge between the human world and the quiet magic of the forest. Marina's illustrations were stunning, raw, full of the love she poured into Lily every day. Julian found himself visiting more often, not just to check on project, but because being near Marina felt like coming home. She challenged him. She laughed at his corporate jargon. She showed him that strength wasn't about control. It was about showing up even when you were afraid. And Marina, despite herself, began to trust him, not because of his money, but because he listened, because he saw her, not as a struggling single mother, but as a woman with fire still burning beneath the fatigue. Lily watched him fall in love with the quiet satisfaction of someone who'd known all along. A year later, at the launch party for Marina's first published book, Julian stood before a small crowd of readers, booksellers, and one very proud daughter. He held Marina's hand as she spoke about the story, about Lily, about believing it wasn't too late to become who you were meant to be. Afterward, when the room had quieted and Lily was showing her book to a group of children, Julian knelt beside Marina. I came to that fair looking for something I couldn't name, he said, and I found everything. He pulled out a simple ring. Nothing flashy, just honest. Will you marry me? Not because I want to rescue you, but because you already saved me. Marina's eyes filled with tears. She looked over at Lily, who was grinning so wide it could light the whole room. Then she looked back at Julian. Yes, she whispered. Yes. They became a family not built on need, but on choice, on creativity and courage, and the kind of love that sees people as they are and says, this is enough. This is everything. And Lily, the girl who had refused to be saved because she knew her mother was worth saving too, became the hero of her mother's story after all.